Okay, we're going to finish up here with a consecutive integers word problem. So we've talked about a couple of previous word problems. Now we're going to do a consecutive integer word problem. Now, a couple of things that are super important are the vocabulary here. All right, so first things first is this word integer. Okay, so integers are whole numbers, positive and negative. So you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -3, all of those positive and negative, but whole numbers. I'm not talking about any decimals, not talking about fractions. Okay. The next important is this word consecutive. All right. Oops. Is this word consecutive? That's one right after the other. So just add one more to get to the next one. That's the consecutive. So 3 consecutive years, 2020, 2021, 2022. That's 3 consecutive years. You just add one more to get to the next one. All right. So that's this idea of a consecutive integers. You're talking about 3 integers that are one right after the other. So consecutive integers. So pay attention to those 2 vocabulary words. Very important. Now they throw some nuance at you here and this word odd. So that's a little bit of a game changer for us. So it's 3 consecutive odd integers. So it's not 1, 2, 3 because the number 2 is not odd. So you have to have 3 odd in a row. So I'm not just adding 1, I'm actually adding enough to skip over the even ones and get to the next odd integer. Okay, so I'm adding 3 odd numbers together in a row, like 3, 5, 7, something like that. And I'm going to add those up because they're telling me this sum idea is adding, and they're telling me that that's all going to add up to 93. So it all is going to equal 93. Well, let's define our variables first. We're just going to say n, and you can use any variable, but I'm going to go with n. N is our first odd integer that we're talking about in this problem. Not 1, just the first odd integer in this problem that we're dealing with. All right, so to get to the next odd integer, I can't just add 1 because 1 plus 1 is 2 or 6 plus 1 is 7. I've got to make sure that I'm going odd to odd. So 3 plus 2 gives me to 5. So I got to add 2 here to get to my second odd integer. Make sure I'm only landing on odd integers. Then to get to your third one, you're doing everything relative to that first number you started with. So let's say it was randomly 11. 11 plus 2 was 13. So the next odd integer is going to be 15. Well, what do you need to add to 11 to get to 15? 4. So you had to do add 2, skip that third one, add 2 more. 2 plus 2 is 4. So here we go. That's our third odd integer. So hopefully you guys are understanding what we're going on there with consecutive, but also this consecutive and odd. So if it was just consecutive integers, I'd have just been adding 1, adding 2, adding 3, adding 4 just to go down the line. But we're talking about adding consecutive odd integers, so I had to skip over. That's why I'm adding 2, adding 4. If I kept going 6, 8, 10 down the line. All right, now it's time to make our equation. So we're going to add these up because, again, they said sum. So the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers is 93. That's our equation right there. Well, now we're just back to the previous few days of solving equations. We're going to simplify over there on the left side and combine like terms. 1n, 2n, 3n, and then 2 plus 4 is 6 equals 93. Now I'm going to try to isolate my variable and get all the constants on the same side. So inverse operation, subtract 6 from both sides. 3n is equal to 87. All right. Now 3n is multiplied, so inverse operation is divide. Divide both sides by 3, and n is equal to 29. Okay, so what did I just find? I found the first of 3 consecutive odd integers. So if 29 is my first, add 2 and I get to 31. Add 2 more and I get to 33. So 29, 31, and 33 are 3 consecutive odd integers that if I add those 3 numbers up, I'll get 93. All right, so that's one version of a consecutive integers problem. Good luck.